3 to 4 sets on this one. Nice and easy machine to warm up the shoulder, the chest, all the tendons and the ligaments, because we're gonna do a little bit of heavy weight today, so we're gonna challenge it. Always a good idea to warm it up. And it's great to do warm up in the same exercise that you're gonna be training with your whole workout. So by that I mean on chest day, when I work on chest, I warm up with the chest press. When I do a back day, I warm up with rows or wide rows. On arm day, biceps, tricep, etc. So 15 to about 20 repetitions here, 3 sets of 4 in total. And we're gonna hit the heavy weight today. A couple of weeks back, still not fully better, and this helps a lot with heavy dumbbell chest press. And that's what we're doing next on flat bench. Start off with the 80s and then work my way up over 4 to 5 sets. Let's see how we do them. Yes, every set you're gonna see me taking this thing on and off and putting it back on, because this is not meant for elbows. Unfortunately, when I got these for the knees, and I have to wrap it so many times, cut circulation to my forearm. But it's really nice on support, so I'll take that as a trade-off. So started with 80s, boosted to 90s. Let's see this. Having cake all night tonight, every set. Okay, so I'm doing a little bit of a big jump here. From 90, I'm going right to 110. Let's see if we can get it, because 90 was quite light. And that was a bit of a challenge. Okay, so fourth is gonna be my second last set. We're gonna do 5 sets over here in total, but I want to do the next set again with the 110s, because the last one felt a little bit challenging, more than I would like it to be. So I gave myself a little bit of a longer rest. So let's see if this one is just as challenging. We'll do the last set with the same weight so that I don't risk injury. A little better, so the rest made a huge difference. 115 on the next one. Okay, so I had a little bit of an argument with my ego over there. because I had 110 on the last one. And I was like, you know what, if I take enough break, I can do 120. I'm gonna stick with 115. I think it's gonna be a good enough challenge, so I can go with proper form, deep reps, and all of that. I can get an actual couple reps in. 120, probably in a kill form. I'm gonna risk injury too. It's better to stay safe, especially as I'm 3 months and a week now from the show. So last thing I need now is an injury that lasts me like 6 weeks, so I can train properly. Okay, so 115, let's see if they go up, because they'll definitely come down. Definitely fail on that one. Whew, I felt that chest good, but nothing straight, nothing pulled, so that was a good challenge. Now I'm gonna go quickly down in weight. So hang tight right here. I'm gonna get the 70s and pop up a few more reps. So the idea on that one was I really pushed the muscle to the max with a very heavy weight until the muscle wasn't able to generate force anymore. So I did 4 on that one. And then I got a weight which I know it's relatively light for me, but still challenging. So in my case now was 70. I was able to rep out about 12, 13 there with good speed, good depth, good form. So now the muscle was tired from before, they're very heavy, gave it very little chance to rest, and strained again with this one, so get a little bit of shock for the hypertrophy. All right, so the whole idea, we've done the warm-up, which was pretty much today a decline chest press on the hammer strength machine. That's generally I go on a random, whether it's decline, incline, flat. As long as I warm up the chest, the shoulder, I'm good with it. Yeah, they all do the same effect for me. But when I work out the chest, I don't go for a million exercises. I generally go for 1 flat, 1 incline, 1 decline, and then a flat exercise at the end. Sometimes I mix and match those, so I put the flat at the beginning, etc. Depends on how I want to mix up the day, but it's almost like the same idea when you do lateral raises, front raises, right? All of the fibers of the pec, they're horizontal, right? So when you push down, when you push up, when you push horizontal, they all still fire up. It's just a matter of which section fires more than the other. So that's why it's always a good idea for full pec development to get all of the angles, incline, decline, and flat. So now we're on the decline. We're gonna try to get quite a bit of weight here as well. And let's see how my elbow reacts. So individual arm on that one, just a bit more of a challenge because one arm is holding out, but you saw my elbow is not locked out to hold on the joints. It was still bent, so my chest was engaged in just an isometric form, and then the other one was doing the reps, and then I switched sides. So it's a bit more of a challenge on the chest because now the arm that was holding is a little bit fatigued from the isometric hold. Now it has to do the work. So something to throw in your arsenal there. Okay. So we've got a little bit heavier in weight. Now, while going closer and closer to a show, it's not a good idea to push heavy weight that risks injury. It's also not a good idea to fall in the other extreme and go too light. You need muscle stimulation because otherwise the low calories are just going to eat away at your muscles slowly before the show. So in order to do that, you gotta have the proper eating plan and you gotta stimulate your body, you gotta still push it. Closer you get to a show, the less you want to work out because you're more and more depleted, the less you want to push heavy weight. But that's the key point where you got to push, because you got to get your body to be convinced that it needs to stimulate the muscle growth. Even with very little food, you need to maintain as much muscle as possible, because otherwise your off season is all gonna go to waste. Definitely challenging the muscle there, because at the end, it just did not work anymore. All right, so for this I'm gonna do a little variation just to give you guys an idea that if you want to do the whole single side working, or unilateral, I should say, unilateral work on these kinds of machines, it doesn't always need to be an arm holding isometrically and the other one working. What I like to do is, this arm is going to be working first right now, so this one is going to engage and push. The other one I'm either going to hold it here or I'm going to hold it here for to brace myself. Don't ever go and push like this with the arm inside when you're having heavy weight. Why? The weight's going to start pushing you down, you're going to start going off center, you're going to keep on rolling back and forth on your joint. At least here, you're going to hold yourself flat onto the bench so that you can isolate the chest better and not activate muscles you don't need to activate. So I'm braced, pushing forward, and I'm going to stay braced in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this arm was pushing just enough to keep me down, but not enough to push the other weight forward, right? And again, doesn't matter whether you do this or this, it's a matter of preference and how I feel strong in that moment. So, other arm. Challenging, but a different feel. Incline press next, right? As we talked, flat, decline, incline, getting all the fibers, and give me a banana machine any day. I love these machines, how they're designed and how real the weight is. 2 plates on this one, you're gonna see me suffer on it because it really translates the weight hard. So not only the chest is a little bit tired, but also this machine keeps it real. So we're still gonna do like the other one, we'll do individual and everything, but started off with that one on double. Stimulate the nervous system just a little bit differently. That's why you probably feel that sometimes doing bilateral feels a little bit heavier than doing unilateral, even though using the same weight. It's the nervous system gets stimulated differently. There's more load, there's more demand, so you automatically feel heavier. So, set number 2 here. Like I said, we're gonna do Unilateral again with an isometric hold. I'm gonna brace this thing really quickly. And again, it doesn't bother as much, but even through the brace, I feel a little bit of discomfort, very mild. So I'd rather play it safe than sorry. Because when I actually got injured, it was nice. I don't want to go back there again. Focusing on the muscle that works is key. So on that one, my whole focus was on the chest. In my mind, it's like I'm always trying to hug somebody very tight to feel my pecs coming in close and together, because otherwise, all you're gonna feel is your triceps and your shoulders. And that's the main thing I try to drill in all my clients' heads, because they always tell me, we did arms today, we did arms today. Well, no, we did chest today, but you didn't activate your chest properly. So every set, even if it's a light stimulation tap, or you keep reminding the person, flex the chest, focus on the chest. If you don't think about the muscle, even though your body knows what it has to do, you won't feel it. And then your brain is all over the place. So focus on the muscle you're doing. Yes, I'll feel some tricep. Yes, I'll feel some shoulder. But you better damn believe that my chest is dying by the end of the workout. So on the last set, if you remember on my very first set, we started off with 2 plates. Now, it was challenging. Like I said, this machine keeps it real. But I'm feeling stronger, better, more energized. So I'm going up in weight. Point is, you always should be honest with yourself, as in, nobody can really predict how much weight you can do as a person. So even if you're with a trainer, with a coach, whatever, they will go based on what they think is right for you, based on the repetitions, based on what you're trying to achieve. But if you're doing, let's say, 12 to 15 repetitions, and your coach estimates 20 pounds per side, let's say, and you're doing those things like it's nothing, you can do maybe 100 more, and you need to be honest, not with your coach, but with yourself. You can do more weight. Losing weight, building muscle, they all have their different plans, the different ways of stimulation. So for example, strength training is different than hypertrophy, how you have to stimulate the muscle, how you have to break your workout. But long story short is, if the set doesn't challenge you, if you're not putting yourself to challenge during your set, you're not gonna go anywhere. And then you're gonna sit down and wonder, why is my coach not giving me the results that I want? No, because you're not pushing yourself enough. That's the truth. So, so you saw in the last rep there, I was struggling to get it up, but I still kept the control. I still pushed through, so I know this is a challenging weight, so my muscle felt it. The seat is the cheat code here of whether you want to do the incline version, the horizontal, or mid rather I should say, and then the decline. So what you can do is you can always put yourself low enough and bring in the other cables up high versus when you're in versus when you're up top. Now, what I always caution everybody to do is, especially when you go down, because of the position your arm is pulling up this way, you want to be careful that your shoulder doesn't take over the entire work, because you'll be so tempted in this position, just get shoulder in and the chest doing diddly squat, and then you can focus all you want on your chest because you're not firing your muscle. properly because of the position. So when you do that, make sure you're not too low, so you're reaching too high up, but at the same time, you're able to bring it just low enough to activate the incline and keep the chest into the story. So for me, it will be somewhere approximately here, as opposed to going so deep that my arm has to be up this way, because now I'm gonna do all shoulders and the chest is barely in the party. But for today, I'm not gonna do the incline. I wanna do the horizontal. So. On that one, you also have to be careful how much weight you do, and also again going back to that whole activation and focus on the muscles. Sometimes on this one, I find even with myself, I go too heavy and or I don't keep the proper focus into the exercise, and I start feeling the rear delts into the shoulder blade, that muscle is almost cramming in like it did so much work. It's so super tired at that point, and the back is not doing anything here except maybe a little bit stabilization when you're going down. But the point is, I'm not focusing on the chest, I'm letting the shoulders take over. So now the entire shoulder girdle is going in at it, is trying to stabilize and is trying to facilitate the motion. Stay focused on the chest, don't let that pain happen. If it does, lighten up the weight. So after the workout, especially if you're doing a competition, great idea to pose, great idea to get that your body used to the holding of that position on stage. So posing can be even more challenging and taxing on the body than the actual workout is, because you need to flex, you need to focus on every piece and bit of your body. So especially because I'm going to be on stage, I need to practice my control, need to practice my breathing, need to practice my transitions, and I need to keep on doing like my body used to, not having to look in the mirror to see, okay, maybe I need to adjust this and that, but to actually feel it, to know that, okay, my foot needs to be so-and-so and my arm needs to be like this in order to get the best display for the judges. So I recommend that even if you don't necessarily go on stage, maybe learn some of the other basic posing forms and just practice at the end. It's a great way to get your muscles stimulated and flexed and get you more in tune with your muscles. Nothing does better than posing.